to really like your chances when you have him in a one-game series.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And Carson Wallace, let's just kind of recap the series that he had against Mildred. As you said, 17 strikeouts, didn't give up a single hit. You could just kind of tell that the Eagles of Mildred were just really struggling, trying to catch up to his fastball, trying to catch up to his speed changes. And it was like a grown man out there playing against a bunch of kids. I mean, it was a really great performance.
Yeah, it really was, and, at 94, we clocked him at 94 miles an hour on the fastball. He was dropping a 70-mile-an-hour curveball in there and throwing some more good off-speed stuff. But, those guys were shortening up on the bat, and they still couldn't get to it. And, just at the end of the day, Wildcats ended up being too much for them. And, they ended up putting up one run in each inning for the first 4 innings.
Yeah.
So, we look forward to some more of that today.
Yeah, and it will be the Wildcats in their home unis. They are the home team. Carson Wallace just got done warming up. Mason Clark behind the plate. Bryce Bowen at first. Lucas Townland at second. Sean Booth at short. Buddy Nip at third base. Caleb Correa in left. Gage Schertz in center field. And Drake Phillips in right. Boogie Trimble will be the leadoff man here for the Panthers. And the first pitch to him outside for ball one. Boogie Trimble, the shortstop. Then we got Hunter Whitecotton, the third baseman. And Mason Smith, the pitcher, the first 3 batters facing Wallace. Next pitch in there for a strike, outside corner, count even up 1-1.
That's a nice pitch there. He's on that outside corner already, and he was doing well there the other night.
Kicks and deals, swing and a miss. Carson Wallace, 1 ball and 2 strikes and no outs to start this game.
And that one was right down the pipe, and the batter just didn't have a chance at it. Ooh, and that ball's inside.
Yeah, just a little bit of inside, and Boogie Trimble had to back out of there. Count now evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. First batter, top of the first, scoreless game. Carson Wallace on the mound for the Wildcats. Kicks and deals the pitch. Just misses down low and full count.
And Jacob, we got to mention that, tonight we're on a natural grass field and Carson's on a dirt mound for the first time in a while.
Oh, yeah. And as he gives up a walk in the first at-bat that he faces. So the first base runner on board for the Alba Golden Panthers in Boogie Trimble.
And that's going to be something to keep your eye on because, there's, as a pitcher's kind of finicky about their mounds. Some of them like a mound that doesn't have as much slope on it. And this one right here is one that's dirt and has pretty good slope in it.
And that curveball just misses upstairs and outside. And, yeah, I mean, that is a really good point to bring up because against the Eagles, it was a all-turf field, and now it is all natural grass and dirt. As that pitch is in there, first strike, 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs, 1 runner on for Alba Golden.
Good pitch, and it almost kind of looked like he wanted to square around on that one a little bit, but I think it got to him so quick he didn't have a chance.
Hunter Whitecotton at the plate, the third baseman. Here for the Panthers, bunts, pops it up, and that's a really good thing that they have the screen and on top of the stands and all that, or that would have come right back towards us.
Oh, yeah, man, that's 50 cents for a snow cone, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt, and just a really beautiful park here at Drillers Park in Kilgore. Really old stadium, but a fun one to play at, no doubt.
This place has been around here since 1948. Pick off move first. Got him!
What a play!
That was that fast move that Carson has. He's got 2 or 3 different moves that he can go to over at first base. And that one right there, he just caught Trimble sleeping just a little bit and popped him pretty quick. And what a great tag that Bryce Bowen put on him.
Yeah, and just like that, the Wildcats now working pretty with 1 out, nobody on. And the 2-hole hitter at the plate, the pitch from Wallace. Ooh, sword swing, strikeout, got him.
My goodness, that curveball right there. After you see that 90-mile-an-hour fastball and that curveball comes in there off speed like it does, it just locks you up. There's not a whole lot you could do with it except for look silly. That'd be his first K for the night.
Yep, Carson Wallace, his last start had 17 and gets his first strikeout of the night, putting down Hunter Whitecotton for the second out after picking off Boogie Trimble over there at first. Got to say, a pretty good start. Mason Smith now at the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss.
Like an off-speed pitch there. That looked like a changeup. And now you just about own this guy at this point. He's got 90 in the tank, and you start him off backwards.
The pitch in there for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. And now Carson Wallace in front of the count. He's in the driver's seat. He can go outside and go upstairs or just attack. Maybe try to get him to chase. Let's see what he does. Attacks. That pitch is popped up on the right side and out of play.
And at home, you're probably going to hear a little bit more crowd noise than what we did at Mildred. We got the crowd mic right down here in front of us, and this place has got a lot of tin on the roof, and it echoes in here, and it's very well built for noise.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And put the mic right behind the plate, so getting a little bit of the ball in the mid as well. That curveball is well outside, a good jump, and a scoot to the right by Mason Clark. But, of course, no one on the base path since Carson Wallace had that really good move to pick off Boogie Trimble for the first down.
Need one more strike here and get out of this inning.
Wallace looking in. The 1-2. Just misses inside. They'll even the count. 2-2, and deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the first. Carson Wallace needs one more strikeout and to pick out the last out. And a great start so far in this game. Kicks and deals. Just fouls it off.
Wow, fighting that one off. That's that 2-strike approach right there, just shorting it up and trying to put the bat on the ball. And he got his first strikeout on a off-speed pitch. And we'll see what he does right here. He's got one pitch to play with, 2-2.
And the umpire will come out and he'll ask one of the Wildcats to move back into the dugout, and play will resume. Carson Wallace back on the mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the pitch. Outside corner, just misses. Count moves to full.
Yeah, it looked like a slider he tried to get back on that back door there.
Yeah, just missed, and Carson Wallace did give up a walk earlier in this game against the leadoff batter, but was able to pick him off. And then the other out has a strikeout. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the game for Carson Wallace. Ends the inning. Nobody on. No one left stranded. No runs. No hits. And we're moving to the bottom of the first in this scoreless game. This is Harleton Wildcats baseball on the heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT.
This is Matt Moore, General Manager of Marshall Ford, and I want to take a moment to introduce you to Tyler Self, our Internet Manager. Tyler's a 2016 graduate of Benton High School, where he lettered in baseball and football. He married Hope Bagley of Elysian Fields in 2019. They enjoy traveling. He is fascinated by cinematography and is a Star Wars fanatic.
This is Tyler Self, Internet Manager here at Marshall Ford. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, come and see me.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
And welcome back to the heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT. I'm Jacob Bumpus, bringing you the action alongside Wes Hopkins. And we're here in the bottom of the first. The Wildcats just about ready to get the bats going after Carson Wallace was able to pick up 2 outs on 2 strikeouts. Wes, some things that you saw early on from Carson Wallace to start this game.
Well, he got 2 punches there, and he showed a good move to get the leadoff batter that he walked and picked him off at first base. I think he walked the first one, then he took a 3-2 count to the third batter there, or fourth batter for the third out. And so we got to pay attention to that pitch count just a little bit. It looked like he was trying to get settled in on this mound that's a little bit taller tonight and try to find his stride right there. But Carson's going to get dialed in. He'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. And the batter today here for the Panthers, it will be the pitcher Mason Smith, and behind the plate, Brett Sutton. At first will be Aiden Blaylock. The second baseman, Easton Samples. At short, Boogie Trimble. At third base, Hunter Whitecotton. In left field, Tucker Samples. Center field, Cooper Christian. And in right field, Logan Strong. And the first 3 batters here for the Wildcats, Gage Schertz, Caleb Correa, Carson Wallace. As Schertz steps in on the right side.
And Smith, he's not a small guy on top of the mound either. And he's looking pretty good warming up. Got good velo to his warm-up pitches, and he's got good movement on the off-speed.
And, as we mentioned, this is a team that has also played against the Wildcats in the same exact round last year. Alba Golden was eliminated from the playoffs against the Wildcats, and I think you said back at Spring Hill, right?
That was at Spring Hill last year.
As the first pitch, the Gage Shirts is upstairs and inside for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs, bottom of the first here, scoreless game. Second round of the playoffs, the Wildcats taking on the Alba Golden Panthers. Smith kicks and deals, swing and a miss.
Like a fastball on the outside corner. Gage Shirt's bat just wasn't quite long enough to reach out there and touch it. Gage is committed to Ranger College. He's going to graduate here in a couple weeks and go play ball there.
That pitch is in there, first strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and no outs. And Gage Shirt's a phenomenal athlete. And, you go back to that state championship run that the Wildcats had. He was a big part of that, just a youngin', but now getting older as this team trying to make another deep playoff run as that pitch just misses on that outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs here for Gage Shirts, the leadoff batter for the Wildcats.
Smith is showing a pretty good off-speed pitch. He mixes his pitches pretty well here early.
Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss, or they're actually going to say that he held back. So a good stop there by Gage Shirts not to break the plane. Yeah. And the head coach for Alba Golden wants a check down the first baseline. Umpire says no, the first base umpire. So Gage Shirts will stay alive. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs.
Umpire steps up and calls time for a second, tells the catcher that he's got a shin guard strap that's undone he needs to give some attention to.
And already this Harleton crowd getting very loud. And as you mentioned, it's kind of covered here at Drillers Park, so it's kind of echoing. And they brought their drums, and they're beating hard. Yeah, they're ready to go.
Student section's loud and proud tonight.
No doubt about that. Here's a little dribbler on the left side. White come to grab the throw across the diamond in time to put down Gage Shirts on a 5-3 play.
Yeah, that ball got in on the hands just a little bit on Gage. He got it over into at the third baseman there. 2-hopped him. Gage slipped a little bit coming out of the box, and I think that may have cost him a bang-bang play at least. Gage Shirts is probably I don't know everything about Alba Golden, but if they've got a kid faster, I want to see him.
Yeah, he's very speedy, no doubt. That brings Caleb Correa now to the plate. He's on the left side, the left fielder for the Wildcats. And on the season here for Caleb Correa, he is batting a .293. He has a .417 on base percentage, 17 hits on the season. Next pitch to him, it misses down low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
So far, Smith, I've seen a 2-seamer out of him, seen a 4-seamer out of him. Looks like a slider and a curveball, so he's got pitches.
As he kicks and deals, the 2-0 misses outside, and a really nice hitter's count, 3-0 here for Caleb Correa.
Yeah, and if I had to guess, Caleb is sitting on this one. Yep.
And last time against Mildred for Caleb Correa, wasn't able to record a hit. He went 0 for 4, but a chance to try and get on base as that pitch misses downstairs. And the first base runner of the night for the Wildcats is Caleb Correa, and that's going to bring the big man, Carson Wallace, to the plate.
And, Jacob, it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with Wallace. He was a big part of our production last week. They know that, and this is a kid that you don't want him to hurt you. The flag looks like it's blowing out, and anything in the middle of the plate could definitely hurt you tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And Carson Wallace went 2 for 4 last game, 2 doubles and an RBI. He can definitely hurt you with the long balls he takes on a curveball that just misses that inside corner.
That's a good strategy with them. We'll see how they handle him the rest of the way. Don't want to give him anything flat and straight right there.
Smith checks first. Caleb Correa with a pretty decent lead. The throw back over to first, and Correa will be back in there safely. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. We're here in the bottom of the first. Second round of the playoffs, the Wildcats taking on the Alba Golden Panthers.
I think Correa might be able to get another half step if he wants it.
A pretty decent lead. Here's a swing in the left field.
Right fielder can't see it. Left fielder can't see it.
Over his head. Correa going for third. He's in there safely. He's going home. The throw at the plate. Not in time. He's safe. RBI double for Carson Wallace.
My goodness. That ball was hit on the line straight at the left fielder. He put his glove up, froze where he was. Coach is telling him he's got to shade his eyes, but he was shading his eyes as best he could, Jacob. He just could not see that baseball.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was hit on a rope, went over his head. Looks like he just couldn't really pick it up. And Carson Wallace strolls into second with an RBI double, puts the Wildcats on the board. Here in the bottom of the first, they lead 1-0.
And Jacob, I don't know if it's as loud on the field as what it seems like it's loud up here, but on that cutoff to third base, he acted like he didn't even know the runner was coming home. So he didn't really he didn't even throw the ball home.
Yeah, so I'm sure, I mean, the crowd noise that Harleton is making is affecting the communication on the field, as well as the cleanup hitter, Mason Clark, takes for a strike. No balls, 1 strike and 1 out, and a base runner in scoring position. Carson Wallace is a pinch runner over there at second as Mason Clark puts on a swing and a miss.
Yeah, back to that cutoff there. You know, typically that's the catcher's job to direct traffic and holler and let everyone know where the runners are. They just may not have been able to hear him.
Mason Clark in the hole, 0-2. Kicks and deals the pitch off the end of his bat. Pops it up on the right side. Second baseman calls off Smith, and Easton Samples makes the grab for the out. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the first, and that will bring up Bryson Bowen.
And Mason got a couple curveballs there in that at bat. It looked like they didn't want to throw him anything flat either. And that's what that's what he ended up having to do. He got in a hole to Carson, and he had to come back and throw him a strike. Let's see what Bryce Bowen can do here.
And the first pitch to him, fastball misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 outs.
I like that. That ball was inside, and Bryce was right up on top of the plate, and it didn't miss his front elbow by much at all. He is all over the top of the plate.
And last time up against Mildred Eagles, he had 1 hit. That curveball just sinks, just misses the zone. 2 balls, no strikes. Had a good break on it, but just missed it by a hair. 2 balls, no strikes, and 2 outs. Runner in scoring position for the Wildcats after Carson Wallace had a double into left field that brought in Caleb Correa. They're up 1-0. The pitch, chopper right side to the first baseman. Paylock takes it to the bag for the 3rd out, but not before the Wildcats get on the board and then make it 1-0. We're moving to the top of the second. Wildcats on top, and this is Harleton Wildcats baseball playoff action on the heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT.
Harleton Independent School District, located in Harleton, Texas, right here in Harrison County, is one of the leaders in education of our young people. Academics, athletics, and extracurricular activities such as the band, the FFA, student council, they're all part of a child's upbringing. Harleton ISD believes in hard work and dedication to the task, and that they bring results that will last a lifetime. Harleton Independent School District in Harleton, Harrison County, Texas. At Harleton, work wins, and it's a great day to be a Wildcat.
This is Matt Moore, General Manager of Marshall Ford, and I want to take a moment to introduce you to Tyler Self, our Internet Manager. Tyler's a 2016 graduate of Benton High School, where he lettered in baseball and football. He married Hope Bagley of Elysian Fields in 2019. They enjoy traveling. He is fascinated by cinematography and is a Star Wars fanatic.
This is Tyler Self, Internet Manager here at Marshall Ford. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, come and see me.
The Wildcat fans getting loud here at Drillers Park in Kilgore, Texas. I'm Jacob Bumpus alongside Wes Hopkins. This is the 2nd round of the playoffs, and the Wildcats taking on the same team that they played this time last year in the same playoffs. Alba Golden last time that they were able to eliminate them back at Spring Hill. And here in the top of the second, Wildcats on top, 1-0, thanks to Carson Wallace, an RBI double that brought in Caleb Correa.
Yeah, I just shake my head, Jacob, when you say that, because it's kind of like the same song, second verse here as what we were doing last week against Mildred. Get one on base, and Carson knocks him in. And so that's what he did there again. And I'm looking here next week, whoever advances out of this round is looking to play either Centerville or Garrison. And that game is being played right now, game 1 of that series. and Centerville's up 8-6 in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, and, fans back at home, you might recognize that name. Centerville, that is the team that eliminated the Wildcats back in the 4th round last year. As there's a chopper on the left side. Sean Booth, a throw to first in time. A good stretch over there at first to get the out. That was Bryce Bowen. And the first out of the inning comes off the bat of Tucker Samples on that ground out.
Yeah, and I said last week, Jacob, that, Bryce Bowen, he pitched last year and played a lot of third base. Well, this year they needed a first baseman when Carson's on the mound. And so they moved Bryce over to first base, and he has had to learn how to play first base and has done a phenomenal job.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. And that stretch and that dig says all that right over there at first. Now that's going to bring up Landon Durham. He is the DH, or Landon Dunham, the DH here for the Panthers. It will be a lefty matchup here in a second. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out as Mason Clark is going to go up to the mound and talk things over with Carson Wallace. And the head coach there for the Panthers talking over some things with Dunham.
Yeah, I was kind of curious maybe if Dunham was maybe he hurt himself on that swing just a little bit.
Yeah,
It's 0-1. I'm not real sure why Mason went out and talked to Carson.
Yeah, did it pop up and hit him? I don't know if it.
No, I don't think it did, but it jammed him up inside. He had a kind of a funny, really tight swing at it.
Yeah.
Thought he might have pulled something in the abdomen.
The 0-1 from Wallace just in there on that outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. And right now on the Wallace K counter, he has 2 on the night. Picked up 2 back in the top of the first. Kicks and deals the 0-2. Just misses that curveball just off the plate on that outside corner. Close, could have gone, but 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
And I know Mason may have a new mid on tonight.
As Wallace picks up a strikeout, his 3rd strikeout of the night, swing and a miss, and Landon Dunham goes down. 2 quick outs here for the Wildcats.
And that's going to be Coach Droddy tonight, our new AD and head football coach, is on K duty over there as he's hanging them on the fence tonight for us. So we'll see how busy Carson Wallace can keep him.
Yeah, just a reminder, in that first round of the playoffs, he picked up 17 strikeouts. And, Wes, you were saying in that first round, he was sitting around 92, 93.
He touched 94, and he's consistently 92, 93.
Just a lot of speed there from Carson Wallace in that first round. A big part of that game against the Eagles to bring the Wildcats into this round as Aiden Blaylock is at the plate. The first baseman pitched right down the middle in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, kind of got him in the spot right here. You're way ahead. Mason Clark raised the hood, and he's talking to first baseman here, letting him know where to play.
The windup and the pitch misses down low. And deuces will be wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Wildcats on top, 1-0. We're here in the top of the second. Already 2 quick outs here for Wallace. And the rest of his defense as that pitch misses downstairs. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
We're working back full now. Carson, bow up right here and come get this guy.
Wallace looking in. The payoff pitch. In there, first strike. Another strikeout for Carson Wallace. 2 in the last inning, now 2 in this one, 4 on the night. He's working well. Wildcats on top, 1-0. And we're moving to the bottom of the second as this game is moving fast. This is Wildcat playoff baseball action on the heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT.
East Texas Septic Service, Randy Pilkington owner. Call East Texas Septic Service 903-930-8172 for all your septic needs. Family owned and operated with more than 20 years experience, East Texas Septic is proud to serve the East Texas area with all waste disposal methods. Septic cleaning and upgrade to your aerobic system or a new installation. Authorized, certified, efficient, and environmentally friendly. East Texas Septic Service is the best choice. Don't wait till it's too late because a straight flush beats a full house.
Shirley G. Smith, Bookkeeping and Tax Service in Harleton, Texas, offering complete bookkeeping and tax services. All federal and state forms are available. Shirley G. Smith, Bookkeeping and Tax Service specializes in individual and corporate businesses. Contact her at 903-777-4620. Shirley G. Smith Bookkeeping and Tax Service supports the Harleton Independent School District and all programs at Harleton, saying go Wildcats.
And welcome back to Drillers Park here in Kilgore, Texas. Alongside Wes Hopkins, I'm Jacob Bumpus bringing you the action. Second round of the playoffs, the Wildcats on top 1-0. They're taking on the Alba Golden Panthers, a familiar team. And last year the Wildcats were able to knock them out of the playoffs in this same exact round, but it was at Spring Hill last time. But now we're here at Kilgore, a really beautiful field. Kind of reminds you of Mike Carter a little bit, but back in Tyler. But Kilgore Drillers Park has been here for a long time, and the Wildcats trying to take care of business right here, right now.
Yeah, and umpires doing a little housekeeping down on the first base side down there in the bullpen. Some kids down there throwing football around. They're trying to keep it off the field for us as Townland steps in here.
And the pitch to Townland goes over his head and into the backstop. That misses.
Yeah, he was trying to gas that one up a little bit, and he just lost his release point on that one. Townland's up 1-0 here.
And the pitch. In there for a strike, outside corner.
That's a good fastball there.
Kicks and tails, the 1-1. Did he break the plane? No, he did not. Little half swing, but was able to stay back, and the first base umpire says no as well. So 2 balls, 1 strike, and no outs. Here to the leadoff batter, Lucas Townland. The pitch just off that outside corner, off the glove of Brett Sutton, the catcher for the Panthers.
Yeah, he was set up kind of down the middle, it almost looked like. That ball tailed a little bit on the outside and come back at him and popped off the glove there. He was trying to pull it back in and frame it up a little bit.
And there's a little roller on the left side. The third baseman, White Cotton, collects, and the throw across the diamond in time to collect the first out of the inning as Townland goes down on that 5-3 play. And I'll bring up the 7-hole hitter, Buddy Nip.
So Smith has a pretty good two-seamer that we're seeing pretty much with 2 strikes. He likes to throw it inside on the hands to the right-handed batters. Start it kind of middle to middle, inner third of the plate and let it work in on the hands. And the Wildcats do like to get on top of the plate.
Mason Smith, the pitch goes outside and downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 out to Buddy Nip, the third baseman. Nip back on the right side. Wildcats on top, 1-0. We're here in the bottom of the second here at Kilgore. Smith kicks and deals the pitch. Fought off on the right side down the first baseline, but foul.
That was that two-seamer again in there on the hands. He's getting swings and contact on that, and it's just not very good contact.
Just kind of eating them up as they're well off on the plate. And, you'll see a lot of Wildcats batters that are, kind of right on the line as that pitch hits that outside corner, just misses. Umpire says that was going to be off.
Yeah.
So 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out.
Tell you what, I like the way Smith looks. He mixes well. He tunnels well as he drops the ball there, but he wasn't on the rubber in the set position. Nobody on base when it mattered.
And that's going to be fouled off on the right side. And just a quick reminder, you guys, if you're listening on the radio, you can watch this on NFHS. You can watch the live stream. Or if you just want to listen audio anywhere else, you can listen on YouTube. That's where we're streaming. So YouTube, listen on the radio, listen on YouTube, or live stream on NFHS. There's a roller on the left side, the shortstop with a throw. That's going to get away from the first baseman and into the dugout. And an automatic trip to second base there for Buddy Nip.
Good job right there. He was hustling. That one right there, again, it wasn't the hardest hit ball, and the shortstop had to come in and charge it, try to make a play in on the grass. And he just one-hopped it over to the first baseman, got into the dugout.
Yeah, and that will be an error on Boogie Trimble, the shortstop for the Panthers. With 1 out, now the Wildcats have a runner in scoring position. They have only put up 1 run, and that was back in the bottom of the first. They're trying to do the same thing, and now at the plate will be Caden Rhodes. And that's deep into center field, over the center fielder's head. Coming in will be Buddy Nip. He'll score with these, and it's going to be a stand-up double for Caden Rhodes. 2-0 now the score. Wildcats extend their lead.
It's 400 dead center field, and the wind's blowing out that way. Center fielder, I'm not going to say he was playing too shallow, but, I mean, it did get over his head, so you can say what you want to about that, but Caden Rhodes put a charge into that ball, and it got up in the wind, and it just carried.
And Caden Rhodes was at second base before the throw was even in the infield, so I'm sure if he wanted to risk it, he could have gone for 3, but that just kind of shows you how deep this field is. I mean, 325 on both sides, left and right, and then, as you said, 400 dead center field, so a pretty big park, no doubt. So runner in scoring position. Now at the plate, Sean Booth. The pitch to him. That curveball just drops straight into the zone, hits the bottom of the zone, in there for a strike.
Good pitch.
Yeah, and, as you were saying, I mean, Mason Smith, the pitcher here for Alba Golden, he's working pretty well. He's got some good pitches.
He is. So Wildcats are just hitting his mistakes right now. And that ball gets past the catcher over to the first base on deck circle, and Rhodes is going to move up to third base.
Yeah, now one base closer to scoring. And, we talk about that game against the Madrid Eagles. For the first 4 innings, the Wildcats put up 1 run apiece. So it was very efficient. And, we're used to Wildcats just putting on a whole lot of runs and a bunch of innings, like just piling them up. That wasn't the case in that last game. But you got to love that consistent scoring. And so far, looks like the Wildcats are trying to do the same. Putting up 1 in the first, now another 1 here in the second.
Yeah, and they're threatening with a second one right here as Sean Booth is ahead in the count right here, 2-1, 2-1 with 1 out. And Rhodes on third base.
Smith kicks and deals the pitch. Just misses that outside corner. Nice hitter's count. 3 balls, 1 strike for the 9-hole hitter, Sean Booth.
And you're going to start hearing the Alba Golden parents and fans over here chirping a little bit as these pitches are close. And there's umpires that will call some of these.
As Smith is looking back in, the 3-1. Swing and a miss, and a big swing and a miss there by Sean Booth. Just a little behind it. Big cut. He was trying to take it deep. But now, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Harleton fan base getting loud. Smith kicks and deals the payoff pitch. Outside corner, called strike 3.
Mercy. Now that's one right there that a lot of umpires are not going to call a strike, and he called it a strike. So maybe I'm not going to say that was a makeup call, but I like to think that high school umpires aren't doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was a little bit out.
Yeah, and that previous pitch that a lot of the Panthers fans were trying to ask for a strike, that one was a little bit more in, and that last one was a little farther out on that outside corner. But nevertheless, 2 outs, top of the lineup. Gage Schertz back to the plate. And that pitch misses downstairs. A good stop by Sutton behind the plate. And that keeps Caden Rhodes back over there at third.
Yeah, I think for Rhodes to score, it's going to have to get back here to the backstop. And that one just kind of squirted over to the right of the catcher about 4 or 5 steps. So good job by him. Now Smith is going to go into the windup here.
The 1-0. Misses upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes, and 2 outs. And you got to love how Gage Schertz has worked into a comfortable 2-0 lead. I mean, he's a guy that's not really going to be doing a lot of chasing. If he finds his pitch, he's going to light it up. But if it's anything outside, he has a good eye. As that one misses outside and down low in the turf, or in the dirt, I might say.
Yeah, and that's something else to be watching for right there. If you're a Wildcat in the dugout, you're kind of putting this into your memory bank. Smith likes to throw a lot of sliders on that outside corner to righties, and catchers had a little bit of trouble handling those. Those are squirting off 4 or 5 steps off to his right at times.
And the pitch to Schertz, that's going to run in and hit him, and he's angry about that. I mean, when you think about that last game against Mildred, he did not pick up a hit. He had 3 at-bats, 1 run, and was not able to get anything going other than that. Now he's hit by a pitch, and you see the head coach for the Panthers, they now take a stroll up to the mound. They'll talk things over, but runners on the corners. But, it's a good thing. I mean, you got a runner on first. Now you got 2 on, but you kind of hate that at the same time for Gage Schertz, who's a guy that leads the team in batting average. He wasn't able to get the bat on the ball there for a hit last game, and he's just itching for it now.
Yeah, for sure. And Correa's coming to the plate, and he likes to kind of slice the ball out into left center a little bit. And they're pulling the center fielder around to the right. Coach comes out, and he's trying to get everybody aligned out there, but no one really moved. Left fielder still had his glove up, kind of shading some of the sun, but the sun's about gone for him.
And the umpire will call it off. Time will be called as Correa steps back in on the left side. Righty-lefty matchup. 2 on, 1 in scoring position. Wildcats up 2-0. Bottom of the second, 2 outs. Flashes bunt, the pitch misses outside. Schertz will go, and he's in there safely. And no throw as the Wildcats do have a runner on third with Caden Rhodes.
Yeah, and to start the game, some of the shadows was there was daylight between the pitcher's mound and the plate, and all of that has moved toward the shortstop side.
As that pitch is in there for a strike outside corner, and you can tell Correa wasn't really feeling that, but steps back in. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 hits here for the Wildcats. 1 error made by this Panthers defense. Smith kicks and deals the 1-1. That goes behind Correa. A dash to the plate. Here we go. Rhodes is safe.
Rhodes comes in with a head first slide there as that ball made it all the way to the backstop. It was going to be bang, bang, but Rhodes was just fast enough to go head first and slide in there and swipe it with his left hand away from the tag, and that's going to move Gage up to third. You got to like that with 2 outs right there.
And the Wildcats make it 3-0. The guy who got it started, Caden Rhodes, had that RBI double to score Buddy Nip. Well, he just scored on that pass ball, makes it 3-0. And Correa still at the plate. He's working ahead the count. 2 balls, 1 strike to him. And the pitch misses downstairs and outside. And as you mentioned, you got Gage Schertz over there at third as well. Another runner in scoring position. And this is something that we didn't see in that last game. Wildcats with 2 runs in an inning now.
We got to get time called here. We got something on the field. First base ump is trying to get time.
That's going to be a chopper on the left side. Shortstop Trimble with it. The throw on the run is going to pull the first baseman off the bag. Everyone's safe. Schertz scores. Correa to second. 4-0. Wildcats extend their lead.
Got a baby Caleb Correa. That's the way to put the bat on the baseball and make them make a play, and use that speed right there to outrun the play. And now we're going to have a conversation. And first base umpire was trying to get time called because there was a ball on the field. This is going to be very interesting. They're going to bring Correa back.
Oh, my goodness.
Jacob, they're bringing him back. The umpire, he had called time. So, but what he hadn't done, he hadn't gotten anyone's attention, but he had time called. There was a football on the field, and those kids are going to have to move. Wow, that just cost the Wildcats a run.
Yeah, I mean, they still have it on the scoreboard too, so that is, not something that you will be seeing every day. And they will bring Gage Schertz back to third, Correa back in the left-handed batter's box, and we'll try this again. Just an unfortunate turn of events there.
And there's a lot of fans here that are kind of lost because, especially on the Wildcat side, they're shielded from the first base umpire. They couldn't see any of that.
But same exact play to the shortstop. The throw,
same exact result.
Gets past the first baseman. Gage Schertz scores, and Correa makes his way to second. I don't believe it.
Folks, your radio's not repeating itself. That's just the exact same thing. Caleb Correa said, hold on, let me show you how we can do this again.
A little bit of deja vu. I mean, the exact same play. And you know what, Wes, I know these Harleton fans are really excited about that, but I'm probably the most excited about that because I'm writing in my score sheet with pen. There was no way I was going to be able to erase that. So Caleb Correa is my hero here in this game. That exact same play, an error. Gage Schertz scores, and Caleb Correa there at second. 4-0 is the score. That's probably best case scenario.
Hey, he's a good kid, man. He's got you taken care of here.
And look who that brings up to the plate. It'll be Carson Wallace. The first pitch to him is in there, or actually just misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. and 2 outs to Carson Wallace. Runner in scoring position after Caleb Correa gets on base and scores a run off that E6. That pitch misses down low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes now to Carson Wallace.
I saw a kid in Cooperstown, New York, Jacob. I saw him hit a home run, and the umpire just dropped his head. The field umpire did, because he called a balk before the pitch was thrown. The kid steps back up and hits a home run on the next pitch after a pitching change.
Yeah. And they try to get Correa over there at second, but he's going to be in there safely, so no problem for him.
Yeah, and the Alba Golden coach he knows he had a good shot right there. He called that. That was the catcher. That was a flash play. The catcher flips his glove, and when he sees a shortstop break, and the pitcher turns and spins it back to second base, and it was really, really close. Wind is kind of picked up here, blowing out of center field again.
The 2-0, that curveball in there for a strike. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner in scoring position for the Wildcats. Now their lead 4-0. 1 run in the first, and now 3 runs in the second. That's something that we didn't see against Mildred. They the most runs they put up in an inning was just 1. So a little bit of a change of pace here for the Wildcats as that pitch misses outside. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs now to Carson Wallace on the left side.
And Jacob, Carson's mom sitting here in front of us, and she's videoing. She's wanting to see this hit right here. But if I'm the Alba Golden coach, he's not getting anything to hit.
And as he takes one for right, left side, well into foul territory off the end of the bat, full count. And, yeah, I mean, you can tell Mason Smith is being really careful with the pitches that he puts to the plate and really not leaving anything over the heart of the plate, because we know what Carson Wallace can do with that.
Yeah, a lot of times when you ride a lineup, you want to protect your big bat with another good bat behind him.
As he was well early on that one, this time pulls it, and that goes off the protection over there at the first base dugout for Harleton.
Yeah, Harleton has that protection for Wallace in the lineup built in with Mason Clark back behind him. You kind of pick your poison between those two, but yeah, I'm still not going to pitch to Carson Wallace. There's a base to give right here. I'd give it to him.
The payoff pitch, left side, in the gap. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Correa is going to come in and score. Wallace digging for 2. His second double of the night. And another RBI. He makes it 5-0. Carson Wallace, a great start to this game.
Jacob, I'm just shaking my head, man. I'm lost. You just cannot get it close to the plate for him. When Carson Wallace is seeing the baseball, you just don't pitch to him, especially when you've got a base to give. That was a good piece of hitting. That was that 2-seam fastball that got off the outside part of the plate. But Carson reaches across the plate and slaps it into left center field. Great piece of hitting by him. Just got too much of the plate. Mason Smith did.
Yeah, I mean, and Carson Wallace, I mean, no doubt. He's not going T1 for nothing. I mean, his numbers at the plate and then on the mound is just kind of ridiculous. On the season, he's batting .478, has a .578 on base percentage. His OPS is 1.563, and he's slugging at .985, 32 hits, and he now has 12 doubles on the year. So just an impressive postseason and season here for Carson Wallace. As Mason Clark shoots one on the right side.
Let's go.
That's going to fall in for a base hit. Coming in to score is the pinch runner for Carson Wallace. They make it 6-0. And Mason Clark in there at second, and I believe that they're going to say
he called
foul ball. There we go.
He called foul. I couldn't exactly see the foul line down there. It looks like the ball hit between me and Wayne Grubbs. Wayne's down there taking pictures for Max Preps, and the ball hit right behind him, and I couldn't see it on the line, but it was really close.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And, the last time that we saw a controversial play come up, the batter at the plate was able to do the same exact thing. We saw that with Correa, able to hit into an error twice. Let's see if Mason Clark does the same thing, but this time shoots that ball into right field a little bit to the left, past that line as that pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That was the pitch to do it with.
Yeah. I don't know if we're ever going to see that again. I mean, can you believe that? I mean, Caleb Correa, was able to hit into an error twice.
Yeah.
The shortstop made an error twice. That brought in a run, all because the first baseman was trying to call time as that pitch misses that outside corner. We've seen that call that a strike before.
Wow. Yeah, my goodness. And I wonder if that may be on the catcher just a little bit. And that's kind of what the Alba Golden head coach is saying here to the catcher. And the catcher, I don't know what class he is. He looks a little bit young to me.
Yeah, might be a framing issue as that pitch misses down in the dirt.
Yeah.
3 balls, 1 strike. Nice hitters count for Mason Clark. And, the nice thing about playing here at Drillers Park, you got dirt on the infield, natural grass in the outfield. A little bit of a change for Harleton as last week playing against Mildred, it was all turf.
Yeah.
So won't having any of those crazy bounces on choppers or anything like that as Mason Clark takes first strike. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wildcats on top, 5-0 here in the bottom of the second. 4 runs already scored. Runner in scoring position. Correa over there at second. The pinch runner there for Carson Wallace over there at second. And Clark at the plate. He fights one off on the right side. And that will go foul.
That's a good two-seamer. Mason saw that as a fastball on the inside corner. And by the time he got the bat there, it was in just almost on the tape on the bat. He's got good spin, and that two-seamer runs in good to those right-handers. Looks like Jackson Mackey is out there.
Yeah, Mackey will be at second in scoring position. The pinch runner there for Carson Wallace. And the payoff pitch. Downstairs, outside, ball 4. 2 runners on now, 1 in scoring position, 2 outs, and a 5-0 lead for the Wildcats in the second round of the playoffs. And that will bring up Bryce Bowen as there will be another meeting at the mound, and they will be taking out Mason Smith.
We'll be bringing in White Cotton out of left field, it looks like. No, I'm sorry. That's going to be Samples.
Yeah, so Samples will come over to pitch, and let's see if it's an easy change. They might just put Smith into left field, and it's looking like that might be the case.
Yeah. I tell you what, Smith was he's got good stuff. Wildcats are just on one tonight.
Yeah, it really felt like in the first round, that was a pretty matchup against the Eagles, and the Wildcats just really zoned in, and a lot of that has to do with you see that a lot of that with pitching as well. So sometimes you just don't get the start that you want. As it looks like Smith will be going to third, and let's see here. Hunter Whitecotton will be going into left.
And, Jacob, I'm checking back in on that Centerville game between Centerville and Garrison. And right now, I'm showing bottom of the 7th. Centerville is leading the game 1, 10-7. And that may be a final. My app just hasn't caught up with it yet. But and then also there's another game that may be some interest to folks with the number 1 state-ranked team in the state right now in Liberty Ilo, and Tatum has a chore of trying to knock them off in this second round. So right now they're playing, and Liberty Ilo is up 2-1 in the third.
And Tatum, a team that's used to putting on some pretty good runs in the playoffs. A pretty big matchup there in the second round. So you said just 2-1. So
just 2-1 in game 1. So. And they play. I talked to a friend of mine last night. His son's a coach over in Tatum, and Steven said that series is going to be played at 3 different venues.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of traveling for that team, and same for Liberty Island as well. As right now we got Tucker Samples warming up on the mound, and the first batter that he's going to be facing will be Bryce Bowen, as we have 2 on, 1 in scoring position. And Smith finishes his night giving up 5 runs off of 3 hits, and his defense behind him making 3 errors. And it looks like Mason Smith, the starting pitcher, will go to third base. And then Whitecotton, who was playing third base, will go into left field.
And Samples coming in. He's a lefty. He's not a very tall guy. He may be about 5'8", and he's kind of wiry. And look like his warm-up pitches, he's throwing the ball pretty good for a guy his size, and he's got pretty good spin to it.
Yeah, and, we saw that with the Eagles and Mildred. They had to make a pitching change, and that helped them out a little bit, but that was early on. So let's see if that can kind of bode well for the Panthers as well. But that first pitch misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 outs for Bryce Bowen. We're just here in the bottom of the second. 5-0 is the score. Harleton on top. Samples checks second, commits home. That pitch just misses that outside corner. 2-0 the count now to Bryce Bowen.
And that's a pitch that's been called right there. It's kind of a guessing game on that outside corner, to be honest with you. Some are and some aren't.
Yeah, it seems like it's been going either way here tonight. Curveball misses outside. 3 balls, no strikes, and 2 outs. A nice hitter's count for Bryce Bowen, and a chance now to, maybe get the bases loaded, and then you're looking at Lucas Townland at the plate.
Imagine we're going to be taking right here.
Oh, and same spot, that outside corner. This time, the ump calling that a strike. This time, a fastball. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs.
I don't know if you listen to the Rangers or watch the Rangers much, but Dave Raymond has a saying he likes to say, and ball 4 is strike 1.
But that pitch misses down in the dirt. Runners go, but that will be a trip over there to first for Bryce Bowen, and that will bring Lucas Townland to the plate. And now the Wildcats have officially batted through the lineup completely here in the bottom of the second.
Let's see if 4 straight pitches here for Samples as he comes in. Let's see if Coach Beck holds him up and got the take on right here. Make the guy throw a strike.
Yeah, so you have Mackey at third, and then Mason Clark at second, and Bryce Bowen at the plate. No balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs to him. Yeah, and last time for Alba Golden, for the Panthers in the first round of the playoffs, they won that opening series against Rivercrest 2-1. They just squeaked by for the win in the first game, 6-5. And the second game, they lost 14-3 in a blowout, and then they faced elimination the next game. It was a 2-1 win in extra innings, as there's a chopper on the left side. Third baseman Smith, he drops it. Everybody's safe. A run will come in to score. That's Mackey. 6-0. Now the score here for the Wildcats as they extend their lead.
Yeah, and that was a big high chopper, and Mason Smith at third base, who just left the mound, he came in and charged it, and he just didn't stay down on it, watch it to the glove, and he kind of hated for him. He's kind of feeling a little bit of responsibility for this 5-run lead. It's now a 6-run lead. Or deficit.
As Townland shoots one on the left side, the shortstop throws to the third baseman. A good play by Boogie Trimble on the run. He backhands it and then throws it over there to third to Mason Smith for the easy out. But not before the Wildcats put up 5 runs there in the bottom of the second. And you got to think also, that was the 4th error committed before that last play. The defense there for the Panthers just kind of struggling early on. So we'll just kind of see if they can clean it up as we go on for the rest of this game.
Yep, and it'll be imperative for the Wildcats to play clean too. They got to keep doing what they're doing. Carson has to keep being Carson, and we got to keep swinging those bats. And I'm liking the way we're swinging the bats tonight. Mason Smith was not a bad pitcher. Harleton hit the ball well against him.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Really brought the bats this time around, and against Mildred, you only saw the Wildcats put up 1 run per inning. And now you turn around here in the second round of the playoffs where, the competition tends to get a little bit rougher. Well, you see the Wildcats now putting up 5 runs in 1 inning. They now have that 6-0 lead. We're going to head to the top of the third. Wallace back on the mound. We're going to take a 30-second commercial break. This is Wildcat playoff baseball action on the heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT.
Harleton Hardware has served the Harleton community for over 40 years and is now under new ownership. Harleton Hardware is your one-stop shop for your feed, seed, tools, camping supplies, lawn care needs, and more. They also offer meter pole sales and installation services. Open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 and Saturdays from 8 to 3 on FM 1968, just past Harleton Elementary and Dollar General. Save money by shopping locally at your local Harleton Hardware store. Harleton Hardware is a proud supporter of Harleton ISD Athletics. Go Wildcats!
And welcome back to the Heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT, alongside Mr. Hopkins, Mr. Wes Hopkins. I'm Jacob Bumpus bringing you the action. And Wes, really enjoyed having you on the game in the first round of the playoffs against the Eagles, and now brought you here again. And you seem to be good luck here for the Wildcats, working well with the 6-0 lead here in the second round of the playoffs. As that pitch misses, or actually hits that outside corner there for Carson Wallace. And I tell you what, that outside corner, you never know what you're going to get with this umpire here tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
With this game. Back in their first strike this time.
He's pretty consistent on that inside corner. He's got that one down. And he's setting up kind of in that slot between the catcher and the right-handed batter. Swing and miss on that one.
The throw from Clark, and they got him, so they complete the strikeout. And it feels like forever since the Panthers have been back at the plate. But Cooper Christian, the leadoff batter, does go down on strikeouts. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts now on the night for Carson Wallace.
And I think that was on 3 pitches right there, so that's good. We'd like to see that pitch count. I'm not sure exactly what he is. I'll look real quick.
As he kicks and deals, that pitch misses upstairs and outside. Next up will be Brett Sutton. Sutton is the catcher here for the Panthers, hitting at the 8-hole. Wallace kicks and deals, outside corner, but a swing and a miss with the fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out for Carson Wallace. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And, you know, in that last game, in the first round of the playoffs for the Wildcats, as that pitch misses downstairs, Wallace was trying to go that complete game, was throwing a no-hitter, but he went over that pitch limit. So a good start here. I mean, looks like he's not going throwing too many pitches, you know, that's unnecessary. As that one's in there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out.
Yeah, I'd like to see a couple more, you know, quick at bats here. He's at 37 pitches right now, as this is his 38. Just missed low.
Yeah, misses that outside corner. And so far for Wallace, he's only had his defense record 1 other out. That was a ground out, a 6-3 play, and then he's given up a walk. That's all that he's done so far. No hits here for the Panthers, as that pitch misses down low. Second walk of the game, and the first base runner of this inning here in the third for the Panthers, and that will be Brett Sutton making his way to first.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier, I thought Mason Clark may be using a new mitt tonight. I talked to him earlier this week, and he told me that it's not surprising, but the web in his mitt is busted.
I wonder why.
Yeah, has something to do with the low to mid-90s fastball from the lefty on the mound right now, probably. So he was searching around for another mitt and some options as Wallace raises his back leg to simulate his windup, trying to get the first base runner over there sleeping.
Easton samples the 9-hole hitter now at the plate, and that goes in the dirt, but a really great stop by Mason Clark to keep that in front of him. And, you know, Mason Clark, a veteran for this team, and we've seen him get really good hits, but I think the bulk of his just really good play comes behind the plate. But that one goes off his glove to the left, and a runner now moves into scoring position off that play, and that is Brett Sutton. And I think that might be the first base runner over there at second for the game there for the Panthers.
I think it is, and, you know, that's something that you're not going to see from Mason very often. And, again, I don't know for sure, but that looks like a new glove, and it looks a little stiff. That's not going to be something you see from him often.
And that's going to be a runner straight back to the third baseman, Nip. They throw to second, and everyone will be safe but the second out. And that was probably one of the better really good hits in this game so far for the Panthers, but just straight back to Buddy Nip over there at third. Really pieced it up, but just straight to the defense.
Yeah, he did. He hit it right to the glove side of Nip. Nip caught it about head high, and he was ready to fire back over to second. The problem is that Townlin was playing over on the right-hand side of second base pretty far, and he just couldn't get there in time.
And back to the top lineup, it will be Boogie Trimble. And that curveball drops in there for a strike. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. 1 runner in scoring position here for the Panthers. Wildcats lead 6-0. Top of the third. That pitch in there for a strike.
That's a nice job by Mason right there, because that ball was at the bottom of the zone, and Mason brought it back up. I spoke with ETBU Tigers catcher, one of their catchers, Jacob Newland, this week, and in conversation he brought up Mason Clark, and so
is that pitch? Just misses that outside corner. And Wallace and the rest of the Wildcats thought that he picked up another strikeout, but we'll have to wait for another pitch.
when you're getting other people's attention, you're doing some good things back there behind the plate. Wallace thought he had that one.
And the 1-2 will be popped up. Wallace, he's chasing. He's going to call everyone off, and he makes the grab for the third out. Usually you don't see the pitcher making that play, but I guess for Carson Wallace, we'll let that happen.
Yeah, he's going to do that. Then he took a little jump shot and shot it back to the mound, so he's having a good time out there.
Well, folks, another scoreless inning here for the Wildcats. They shut down or continue to shut down the Panthers through 3, and we move down to the bottom of the third, 6-0 the score. Wildcats on top, and this is Wildcats baseball on the heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT.
Kyle Dansby, attorney at law, handles criminal defense cases, CPS cases, and family law cases.
You're talking about their lives, talking about prison maybe. Just because they've been accused of something does not mean they even did it. You have to take it seriously, and you have to investigate, and you have to treat them with respect, and you have to talk to them. Look at it from every perspective to truly, truly represent somebody the way that they deserve.
That's Kyle Dansby, attorney at law, handling cases in Marion, Panola, and Harrison County.
When your special event demands special food, you need Good Smoke Catering and Entertainment with melt-in-your-mouth smoked meats as well as any other mouth-watering needs. Good Smoke Catering and Entertainment will not disappoint. From weddings to corporate events, family reunions, and more, we will cater your most unforgettable food experience. Why settle for good food when you can have good food? Call us today at 903-806-0382.
And welcome back to Drillers Park here in Kilgore, Texas. Second round of the playoffs, the Wildcats taking on the Alba Golden Panthers. We're here in the bottom of the third. 6-0 is the score, and the leadoff batter will be Caden Rhodes. And last time up for Caden Rhodes, he scored the first run back in the second. It was a double over the center fielder's head that would score Buddy Nip. And later on in the second, the Wildcats would score 5 runs in total, and they lead 6-0. That pitch goes over the catcher's head, Brett Sutton, and makes it 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs for the leadoff batter at the plate, Caden Rhodes for the Wildcats.
Thought that might get our crowd mic there.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's you always taking a risk putting a mic right behind the plate, but luckily just missed it. That will be a strike there for Rhodes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. You have 3 hits on the night here for the Wildcats, but 4 errors made by this Panthers defense, and able to bring in a good amount of runs there for the Wildcats, as that curveball just misses outside by the new pitcher here for the Panthers, Tucker Samples. They went from Mason Smith to Samples, and this will be his first complete inning if he's able to finish it. The pitch just misses down low. Full count.
And then Alba Golden head coach, he's got his hat off over there. He's got his hands in there, and he's chirping at the umpire, and the umpire's having a little bit of conversation back with him. So I think both of them are getting tired of each other.
Yeah, especially with that outside corner here tonight, as Rhodes pops one up on the right side, out of play. And, another nice thing about Drillers Park, everything is covered. That's not only good for the shade, but, you're not going to have any foul balls flying into the stands or anything like that. So the pitch just off the end of the bat and stays alive, and might have, I think it hit Sutton there behind the plate. And the head coach will go over there and talk things over with him and give him a chance to walk it off.
Yeah, and while we got a second, looks like that Centerville-Garrison game went final 10-7. Centerville took game 1. And then also looking over, it looks like Beckville is playing McLeod in round 2. Beckville came out of Harleton's district, And they played 2 games today. Beckville won 10-0 in the first game, and they are leading the second game right now, 8-1 in the, I believe that's a 6th inning. So it looks like that game is in hand.
As here's a deep shot, just in foul territory, just getting close to that line, and he pulled the living daylights out of it. Looked like off the bat it was going to be promising, but out of play.
Yeah, Caden Rhodes, you can't miss inside with him because he will turn on one and put it down the line. He's got the power to put it out of here.
Yeah, and so far 1 for 1 with a double over the center fielder's head. Down the left side, third baseman makes the play, and the strong throw across the diamond for the first out, and that is Mason Smith. He was the starting pitcher, but a great play there. They get Caden Rhodes out for the first out in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, that ball was hit pretty hard to him, but he didn't have to move a whole lot for it. He did. He stood up and made a good, strong throw. He's a big guy. He's probably every bit of 6'2".
Yeah, and did you see the velocity, you know, across the diamond? He definitely zipped it across there. Next batter up, Sean Booth, a 9-hole hitter. Blooper popped up on the left side. Shortstop makes the grab on the run. That's Boogie Trimble for the second out of this inning. And now the Panthers trying to make quick work of the Wildcats, but we go back to the top of the lineup. It will be Gage Schertz, but really like that name, Boogie Trimble, the shortstop for the Panthers.
Yeah, I've heard of a couple Boogies, but that's a nickname that works well right there.
Boogie Trimble, yeah, I think that's the first Boogie that I've ever called here in a game, as that pitch misses downstairs. So far for Gage Schertz, he is hitless in the playoffs. First at bat, he grounded out on a 5-3 play, and then he was got hit back in the second, but he would later score. So he is one of those 6 runs on the board. But, you would really love to see Gage Schertz start this inning off with a base hit.
Oh, yeah.
As he takes first strike down the middle, 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. And if you're just joining us, we're here in the bottom of the third. The Wildcats on top, 6-0 here in the second round of the playoffs, playing Alba Golden. And this is the same team that the Wildcats kicked out of the playoffs in the second round. So same round, same time of the year. And the Wildcats trying to get the same result. Last time it was at Spring Hill, and now we're playing at Drillers Park in Kilgore.
Yeah, and Spring Hill, I believe, had all turf. Had turf infield.
Yeah.
And they may have a grass outfield.
Does that pitch miss outside? 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs now to Gage Schertz. And, a lot of the plays that we would have seen here tonight, especially on the ground, would have had a different effect on turf. So a bunch of these fielders are going to have to adjust with that.
Yep.
As that pitch misses outside, Gage Schertz grabs another walk. And, you're not able to put the bat on the ball, but you can't really complain with that, as he is standing on first. And the first base runner on the inning is Gage Schertz.
Yeah, you got no runners on. Your job is to get on base. And it doesn't matter how you get over there. Let's get over there. And 2 outs. Got Caleb Correa coming up here to the plate. Caleb was a man that worked a miracle a while ago and hit the ball back up to second twice.
Yeah, that was unbelievable stuff. I mean, he did the same exact thing, and no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs to him, and really saved me a little bit because, as a smart guy, I decided to write all my stats in pen, so I can't go back from that. Checks first, runner goes, the throw, and or the pitch. It's going to be fouled off on the left side. No balls, 2 strikes. Looked like a designed hit and run play, but Gage Schertz now has to go back to first.
Yeah, that's 0-2 now on Correa. And I always like watching lefties and see if their pickoff move, how it looks when they got a runner on first, especially a speedy guy. There it is.
And Schertz, man, you can tell that he's got some speed. I mean, he has a huge lead over there in first. And let's just take a look at his stats on the season. Gage Schertz, stolen bases. He has, just 2 here in the postseason. As the throw into second,
straight stole that one on the pickoff,
and he's in there safely. And that's where that speed comes into play.
Absolutely.
The throw back into first, and he was back safely into second. A runner now in scoring position, and you have the head coach coming out. for the Panthers to talk things over.
Yeah, he's not going to win this one. It was way too close for him to even ask it, to be out there and argue. I'm sorry, it wasn't close enough for him to be out there and argue. But if Gage was going against the lefty, he was going on first move, and as soon as he saw the leg move, he took off.
Yeah, and that is now the 19th stolen base on the season for Gage Schertz. As there's a swing and a miss by Correa. That will be the third out, and the Wildcats leave one runner stranded. So for the first time in this game, Wildcats not able to get a run on the board. They put up 1 in the first, 5 in the second, and now none in the third. Score remains 6-0. We're moving to the top of the fourth. And this is Harleton Wildcats baseball on the heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT. We'll be back right after this.
This is Matt Moore, General Manager of Maverick Chevrolet. I want to take the time to introduce you to a guy most of you already know. Rex Brown's a 1987 graduate of Marshall High School, graduated from North Texas in 1992. He's been married to his wife, Trish, for 30 years, and they have 2 sons. Rex has been with the dealership for 40 years, and we are glad to have him.
Hey, this is Rex Brown at Maverick Chevrolet in the service department. If you ever have any questions about your car, service needs, or otherwise, come see us.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
6-0 the score. Wildcats on top. We're here in the top of the fourth, and Carson Wallace back on the mound. And Wallace so far has not given up a single hit against this Panthers team, and we saw him do that in the first round of the playoffs against the Mildred Eagles. Threw a no-hitter. The only runs that they were able to score on the Eagles back in the first round came off of errors. So right now, Carson Wallace trying to do a little bit of the same, trying to work that first-round magic into the second round against the Panthers of Alba Golden.
Yeah, well, you can read Carson's body language. If you've watched him enough, you know when he's feeling his oats. And he's got that little bit of swagger against him tonight. And any kind of nervousness or anxiety or anything he may have had last week coming into the playoffs, gone.
Yeah, and he fires a fastball right in the zone, down the middle. No balls, 1 strike, and no outs. The leadoff batter for the Alba Golden Panthers will be Hunter Whitecotton. He's the 2-hole hitter and now finds himself in the 0-2 hole. You know, if you're a guy like Carson Wallace and you have that speed, are you just attacking the zone? Well, I guess that answers our question.
Yeah.
Was going for that outside corner, gets a swing and a miss, and that is the 6th strikeout of the night for Carson Wallace.
Yeah, Jacob, and and I thought about that last week too when Corsicana Mildred would get a runner on and Carson would get in the stretch. He'd worry about his runner a little bit and kind of lose a little bit of his control. And I think his stuff is good enough just to come after the batters, as proven right there with strike 1.
Yeah. And now facing Mason Smith, the starting pitcher now moved to the third base, and Wallace kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Now, once again, another 0-2 count. And, with a lot of pitchers, usually routinely with an 0-2 count is we got another strikeout.
Hang another one on the screen.
Yeah, 7 strikeouts now on the night for Carson Wallace. And, usually if you have an 0-2 count, you might go well outside or upstairs to try and get the batter to chase. But with Carson Wallace, with the speed that he's working with and his efficiency, he's attacking. He's got 2 outs off of 2 strikeouts. He kicks and deals. Batter's going to call time, and he steps out. And that will be Tucker Samples, the left fielder. So far for him, 0 for 1, grounded out on a 6-3 play.
And it's kind of a good thing he did step out because Carson let that one rip, and it was chin music.
That pitch misses outside, close to the outside corner, but just misses 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 outs. We're here in the top of the 4th. Quick inning here for the Wildcats in the works as that pitch misses inside and goes to the backstop. And actually, they're going to say that it clipped his jersey or something.
Yeah, I promise you it clipped his jersey because, good gracious, hate to see that. If that fastball would have hit him in the ribs where it came through, he would still be rubbing something.
Yeah.
And he never flinched, so it just got jersey. And I said, good gracious, the umpire threw the ball back to Carson and bounced it at his feet. And sometimes you just have to hand it back to the catcher and let the catcher do his job.
Yeah, I think Mason Clark is more than capable of doing that, I think.
Yeah.
As it's going to be Lawton Cooper, the pinch runner, getting the first. He'll be taking the spot of Tucker Samples.
And I do have confirmation, if anyone is keeping up, as that was strike 1 to the next batter. I do have confirmation if anyone's keeping up with the Mason Clark mitt story. That is a new mitt that he's using this week.
As that pitch goes upstairs, Clark goes to first. And a great grab by Bryce Bowen. That would have been over his head, but he had to climb the ladder to keep that in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Good play by him. But that's a glove or a mitt that belongs to a former Wildcat catcher, Drew Stafford.
Oh. As that pitch hits the outside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And you can tell, he's been working on it, still trying to feel a little bit more comfortable with it. But
yeah, I think Drew, if he used that one, he's got it trained up good because
we got another swing and a miss.
Nice.
3 outs and 3 strikeouts by Carson Wallace. He's on a tear. His 8th strikeout of the night. He's wheeling and dealing in the second round of the playoffs. Another consecutive shutout inning here for the Wildcats, and we're moving down to the bottom of the 4th. This no-hitter continues for Carson Wallace. Wildcats lead 6-0. And this is Harleton Wildcat Baseball on the heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT.
Harleton Independent School District, located in Harleton, Texas, right here in Harrison County, is one of the leaders in education of our young people. Academics, athletics, and extracurricular activities such as the band, the FFA, student council, they're all part of a child's upbringing. Harleton ISD believes in hard work and dedication to the task, and that they bring results that will last a lifetime. Harleton Independent School District in Harleton, Harrison County, Texas. At Harleton, work wins, and it's a great day to be a Wildcat.
This is Matt Moore, General Manager of Maverick Chevrolet, and I want to take a little moment to introduce you to our marketing manager, Samantha Spears. Samantha was born in Texarkana, and she's a 2019 graduate of Legion Fields High School, where she was a softball, volleyball, and basketball star, earning all East Texas honors. She's been with Maverick Chevrolet since 2021, and her hobbies include going to concerts and hanging out with Jeffrey the Weenie Dog.
Hey, this is Samantha at Maverick Chevrolet in Marshall Ford. I'm the marketing manager. We love to support our Harrison County students.
Carson Wallace will be the leadoff batter here for the Wildcats in the bottom of the 4th. This is the second round of the playoffs. Alongside Wes Hopkins, I'm Jacob Bumpus bringing you the action. And Wes, we've seen Carson Wallace do just about everything here tonight. He's 2 for 2 with 2 RBI doubles, and he has 8 strikeouts and currently throwing a no-hitter.
Yeah, I've said it for 2 weeks now, and I don't see much sense in pitching to him. But, starting off the inning, I'm sure they're going to.
That pitch just misses the zone. 1 ball, no strikes, and no outs to Carson Wallace. And as we just mentioned, for Wallace, he is working with 2 doubles.
Oh,
as he pops one up upstairs in the infield, and the pitcher comes around. Tucker Samples behind the mound and makes the grab. And, not the bat that Carson Wallace wanted, but of course, we'll give him a pass. He's already now 2 for 3 with 2 RBI doubles, so sometimes that happens.
Yeah, what is wrong with him?
Yeah,
my goodness. Well, and that his MO the last 2 weeks is being straight away center field. No pitch, you guys. Not even in the box. Umpire's going to step out and let Samples know that, hey, you got to watch me. You got to pay attention here.
Yeah.
But, no, Carson, even on that one, he popped it up. It was just behind the mound, in between the mound and second base. Not necessarily how we teach that. We don't want our pitcher going off the back of the mound making that play. But it worked.
As that pitch misses that outside corner. 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 out. And, we saw that with Carson Wallace. He made a catch, off the mound. And, as you were saying, usually, that'd be either shortstop's, second base, or catcher's ball. But, Carson Wallace, with the way that he's playing, you can definitely let him take that. But, kind of feel like for any other team, it's usually anybody else's ball.
Yeah, for sure.
As Mason Clark is at the plate, the 4-hole hitter for the Wildcats. The 1-1 to him. Chomps it on the left side, foul. And if you're just joining us, we're here in the bottom of the 4th. 6-0 the score. Wildcats on top. So far, Wallace has been keeping this shutout going against this Panthers offense. He has 8 strikeouts. He's 2 for 3, 2 doubles, and 2 RBIs. As that pitch misses downstairs and goes to the backstop for the Wildcats. 6 runs scored, 3 hits, but they've been able to do some damage, putting the bat on the ball and forcing 4 errors made by this Panthers defense.
Yeah, and the Alba Golden pitcher, Samples, he's kind of starting to show a little bit of loss of control.
That curveball drops, but just kind of stays upstairs out in the zone. Had a good drop to it, but just misses. Full count now with 1 out. And so far for Mason Clark, he has a pop out and he's been walked. Still looking for his first hit, but yeah, as you were saying, Samples just trying to find that control, but misses outside. Ball 4.
Yeah, and sometimes, good gracious, they're just they almost kind of look defeated, and I guess Carson Wallace has a way of doing that to you as hitters. But then when you look at the scoreboard and it's 6-0, it kind of carries over into the field.
Yeah.
Catcher kind of one-hops the ball back to the pitcher there, and just kind of some shoulders dropped and not a whole lot of hope looking here for Alba Golden right now.
Yeah, and, this Alba Golden team had a really good season. 21 wins, 8 losses. They went 12-2 in district. They won that the first spot in district, so they were district champions, as that will be fouled off on the right side. Bryce Bowen at the plate. And this Alba Golden team, really efficient throughout their season, but just playing a really tough Harleton Wildcats team.
Yep, and sometimes it's tough when you run into them buzzsaws and you haven't seen pitching like that. You're not going to see a whole lot of pitching like that at all.
No.
Maybe not even ever in your high school career.
And the Wildcats are at an advantage doing these one-game series when you can throw your ace on the mound, and an ace that throws mid-90s, and it's kind of like this guy can't even or these other batters can't even catch up to it, as it's like we're
catcher
chippy.
Well, catcher bounced it back to the pitcher again, and coach got chippy with the catcher.
Swing and a miss there from Bowen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. And, that's a plus of having a crowd mic right behind the home plate. You can pick that stuff up. But.
Yeah, that was that may have been a dad on the Alba Golden side, and it was definitely the coach.
Yeah. The 2-2 misses down low in the dirt, but a good stop there by Sutton. Sutton keeps it in front of him, and that will keep Mason Clark staying put over there at first, but it will be a full count for Bryce Bowen. And so far for Bowen, he's grounded out and he's been walked. And we talked about only 3 official hits on the night here for the Wildcats, but they've been able to put the bat on the ball 4 other times with errors, as that's popped up a mile high on the right side. Second baseman Samples settles under it, and he makes the grab for the 2nd out.
And I believe over on first base, I'm thinking that is Mackey again. I can't see the number.
We'll see if he
turns
around.
I think he's in running for Mason. I see Mason over there putting his gear on in the dugout. So.
Yeah, whoever that is, pretty good lead over there at first. He's going. Just gets a piece of it. That is number 4. So that'll be Colt Ossobrook.
That's Colt.
And that was a designed hit and run play, but Townland just fouling it off. No balls, 1 strike and 2 outs. We're here in the bottom of the 4th, 6-0 the score. Wildcats on top. 2nd round of the playoffs against the Alba Golden Panthers. And right now, the Wildcats looking like a smooth machine, both defense and offense, getting the bats going. And a lot of that defense and in the field is coming from Carson Wallace with 8 strikeouts and working with a no-hitter as the throw over to first won't be in time. Also Brooke back in there safely.
Yeah, he was back easy, too, on that left-handed pickoff. So he might be able to get him a little bit more if he wants it.
No balls,
back.
1 strike. They go back again. Also Brooke getting dirty, and he's back safely at first. And, you know, the Wildcats in their home unis and the Panthers gray jerseys, blue hat, blue socks, but they throw back over to first again. Also Brooke back safely. And, you know, most of the time during the postseason, you'll see the Wildcats playing on turf, but lucky tonight to be playing on dirt.
Yeah.
And a couple of jerseys are going to be covered in dirt here tonight, especially also Brooke dove back 3 times now in a row. Might have been 4. I kind of lost count. No balls, 2 strikes now.
Alba Golden's coach is fixing to lose his mind as that ball was thrown from the catcher back past the pitcher again. And he's, I think he's second-guessing his career choice right now.
And Wildcats just out in front in everything, you know, almost in every category, but they're working with a 6-0 lead. Here's a chopper on the left side. Third baseman Smith grabs it and throw across the diamond. Got him in time. It was a bang-bang play, but that's the second play of the night there for Mason Smith, where he's put on a web gem and a great throw across the diamond for the 3rd out. Now, what a play by the third baseman on that 5-3 put out for the 3rd out. Puts down Lucas Townland.
Yeah, that ball was hit pretty hard. It was a 2-hopper right to him. I thought he might come in on it just a little bit, but he didn't. He held his ground and didn't even really take much of a step, just reared back and fired it and showed off that arm.
Well, the Panthers put another scoreless inning on the board. Wildcats not able to score a run, and we are moving now to the top of the 5th. 6-0 the score. This is Harleton Wildcat Baseball on the heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT.
East Texas Septic Service, Randy Pilkington owner. Call East Texas Septic Service 903-930-8172 for all your septic needs. Family owned and operated with more than 20 years experience, East Texas Septic is proud to serve the East Texas area with all waste disposal methods. Septic cleaning and upgrade to your aerobic system or a new installation. Authorized, certified, efficient, and environmentally friendly. East Texas Septic Service is the best choice. Don't wait till it's too late because a straight flush beats a full house.
Shirley G. Smith, Bookkeeping and Tax Service in Harleton, Texas, offering complete bookkeeping and tax services. All federal and state forms are available. Shirley G. Smith, Bookkeeping and Tax Service specializes in individual and corporate businesses. Contact her at 903-777-4620. Shirley G. Smith, Bookkeeping and Tax Service, supports the Harleton Independent School District and all programs at Harleton, saying, "Go Wildcats."
Top of the 5th, Carson Wallace back on the mound, and the first pitch from him misses inside. The leadoff batter for the Panthers will be Aiden Blaylock, the first baseman, and last time up for him, a strikeout, so he is one of those 8 on the night from Carson Wallace. As that pitch is in there, first strike, 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs for Wallace on the mound.
Carson brought that one down the pipe. I don't think there's much he could do with it.
Kicks and deals. Did he break the plane? Yes, he did. Half swing for strike 2.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. That was a strike. He just could not pull the trigger on it.
Blaylock down in the count, 1-2. That pitch misses low and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs.
If I was in the box and Carson ever threw inside and made me move my feet, he would own me.
As that pitch misses downstairs. Now, if you were, as you are, if you were just able to go into the box right now, what's your chances of getting a hit off of Wallace? Do you think you could fight off a base hit?
No, not a chance. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Not a chance.
Or what about in your prime? In your prime,
oh yeah,
would Wes Hopkins be able to get a hit off of
Carson? I hope you're listening, buddy. 450 dead center.
Oh wow, 450 down. Wow,
dead center.
Calling him out in your prime. You know, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah. I think my prime I was about 6.
6 years old.
Yeah. After that, it went way downhill.
That's awesome.
Jacob, I'm looking around here in the stands in Harleton. They brought a good crowd, and I see a lot of state champions here in this stands. You got Cameron Johnson and Peyton Murray, Evan Vance, and Dylan Armstrong, Braden Hopkins over there. So all of these guys are showing up and supporting their team.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see that. It's sad because some alumni, you think once they graduate, you never see them come back to the school or stuff like that. But not for the Wildcats, as Wallace picks up his 9th strikeout of the night.
We call that dotted. He got dotted up right there. And that fastball in that outside corner for strike 3 looking.
Had 17 strikeouts in the first round of the playoffs and working well once again, now with 9 for the first out of this inning. That will now bring up Cooper Christian, the center fielder. Harleton fans getting loud, banging the drums. Wallace getting his signs, kicks and deals. The pitch in there for a strike. Got him looking.
I've been telling my boys I'm coaching. They're 14 years old, and I tell them your most important pitch is your first pitch.
There's another one in there.
You always want to get ahead in that first pitch. If you can get ahead, you pretty well own things right there.
0-2 count. Let's see if he attacks the zone. The pitch.
Oh, my.
Got him swinging. Outside corner. Mason Clark drops it. Now the throw to first. Able to complete it. 10 strikeouts. Count it. Wow. 10 on the night.
I got a little fist pump out of Mr. Ratcliffe right there. Jay Ratcliffe, our superintendent. He liked what he saw.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean,
oh, man, I left out Tanner Tate when I talked about our state champions. I see him walking around over here.
Yeah, Tanner Tate, he has a different job in this game. He was the one who was hanging the K's on the fence in that first round against Mildred, but now looks like he has a little bit more of a chiller role. I don't think he's doing much. I think he's just watching the game.
Yeah, I looked over there a while ago. He had ice on his arm. I think he got wore out last week.
Oh.
Stretch that arm out.
I don't know, man. I mean, he was getting up and down, and reaching.
He was busy.
He had to do that 17 times. My goodness. Now at the plate will be Brett Sutton, the catcher. As that pitch is in there for a strike. No balls, 1 strike.
And this next pitch here in the 5th inning with 2 outs is going to be number 70 from Carson. So he's doing good with his pitch count right now.
Yeah, not bad at all. And we're here in the 5th. He sets. Getting his signs, kicks and deals. The pitch from the big lefty. Misses that outside corner, evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. So for Carson Wallace, he has gotten all 3 outs off of strikeouts once in this game, on the verge of doing it again. As that pitch misses down low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Looking here, and Carson's thrown, that's his 71st pitch, 44 strikes for him tonight on 71 pitches.
My goodness. There's a chopper on the right side, and that's something that we haven't seen a lot of tonight, making contact off of Wallace. And when it has happened, it has definitely been on those pitches that he's not going full velocity on.
Yep. And that's something else that Carson does. Carson does it well. He'll mix speeds on pitches too. He'll show you 87, 88 miles an hour on a fastball, and then he'll come back and ring you up with 93, 94.
And the 2-2 from Wallace. Off speed, stays upstairs, and count now moves to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 5th. Wildcats lead 6-0. And Wallace still working strong with a no-hitter and the shutout. The pitch.
That's it.
Goal, strike 3.
There he goes. There's that man. Got a little swagger behind him with that right arm, swinging that glove. He's feeling himself right now, Jacob.
My goodness, 11 strikeouts. The big lefty getting it done in the second round of the playoffs against Alba Golden. He is on fire. Willen and Dillon. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th. 6-0 the score. Wildcats on top. And this is Harleton Wildcat Playoff Baseball on the heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT.
Harleton Hardware has served the Harleton community for over 40 years and is now under new ownership. Harleton Hardware is your one-stop shop for your feed, seed, tools, camping supplies, lawn care needs, and more. They also offer meter pole sales and installation services. Open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 and Saturdays from 8 to 3 on FM 1968, just past Harleton Elementary and Dollar General. Save money by shopping locally at your local Harleton Hardware store. Harleton Hardware is a proud supporter of Harleton ISD Athletics. Go Wildcats!
Kyle Dansby, attorney at law, handles criminal defense cases, CPS cases, and family law cases.
You're talking about their lives, talking about prison maybe. Just because they've been accused of something does not mean they even did it. You have to take it seriously, and you have to investigate, and you have to treat them with respect, and you have to talk to them. You look at it from every perspective to truly, truly represent somebody the way that they deserve.
That's Kyle Dansby, attorney at law, handling cases in Marion, Panola, and Harrison County.
So Carson Wallace sits down the Panthers in the top of the fifth. 1, 2, 3, all with strikeouts. And Wes, let's see if that can translate into some offense, getting the bats going for the Wildcats. Now they put up 1 run in the first, 5 in the second, and nothing since then. So it'll be nice to see if they can try and put on some more runs to extend their lead.
Yeah, to Sample's credit, he struggled a little bit in the last inning to find the zone just there a little bit, but since he came in, he's given up no runs. That's 6 runs. All of those are going to be on Smith. That was his man on base when Samples came in. So all of those are charged to him. And, just another look from the left side, a different arm slot, different size guy, can make all the difference in the world.
And the pitch misses downstairs. The first batter at the plate will be Buddy Nip. And once again, the catcher overthrows the pitcher.
Jacob, I don't even want to say the word, but I think Major League and what the catcher had going on, that he couldn't get it back to the pitcher. That's that word that you don't mention in sports.
And here's a pop-up into left field. Coming in is White Cotton, and he makes the grab for the first out as Buddy Nip goes down on a fly out in the left field for the first out. And that will bring up Caden Rhodes. And Rhodes, in the bottom of the order, has had some success for this Wildcat team. He had an RBI double back in the second that would score Buddy Nip, and since then he's grounded out. So let's see if he can try and work some magic and get another base hit on the stat sheet.
I'm ready to see Caden Rhodes turn on one inside and drive it over the left field fence. I think he's due. He's got the swing for it. He's set up for it. Just see it coming. He hammers one down the third baseline as Coach Beck has to take a step up to get out of the way of it. Foul ball, strike 1.
The one thing that has been constant in this game is the Wildcats fan base being loud on the drums over there. I mean, they have made it loud. I mean, it's day and night. You look to your left. It is a good showing there for the Panthers, but you look to the right, full seating wise. It's totally full. And then the student section beating on drums, they're loud. And a lot of them, probably the same students who went up to Round Rock 2 seasons ago to be there for the state championship when the Wildcats won it all.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's anyone left in Harleton.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably a ghost town that weekend, and I still remember that. Just a great performance. Only lost 1 game on the season, and that one loss came to the playoffs. And, your son walking it off there in the semifinals of the state championship, and, to get the Wildcats into the state championship game, they were down by multiple runs, and they did it all in 2 outs. That's something that I feel like a lot of people will probably never see again in their timeline. Lifeline. It's crazy.
And sometimes, when people talk about that, they talk about, that last walk-off hit. But you can't forget that Gage Shirt started that off with as that ball hits Rhodes, he's going to go to first base. But Gage Shirt's come up, and he started that off, and Harleton was down to their last strike of the ball game.
Yep.
And Gage Shirts takes one to left field that was equally as impressive as the ball that Braden hit to right field. and equally as important. And without that shot by, at the time, Gage Schertz was a sophomore, and one hops the fence and gets that thing rolling. Big play by him, and he's on deck right now.
And the pitch misses downstairs in the dirt, and so Caden Rhodes hit by a pitch. He's at first, and the 9-hole hitter now at the plate. That is Sean Booth.
And I look over my right shoulder, and I forgot another one of those state champions, and it's Bryce Lockhart. And Bryce is also, that ball's going to be hit left.
That's off the glove of the third baseman. Everybody's safe. And that was a hard hit, so no error this time. Sean Booth records his first base hit of the night here in the bottom of the fifth. 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position, and Gage Schertz now comes to the plate.
Yeah, that was a nice piece of hitting right there by Sean. He ripped that ball to the glove side of Smith, but Smith took a step and a dive and knocked it over to the shortstop, and did a good effort getting that over to it and keeping it in front of us.
So the Wildcats up 6-0. Gage Schertz at the plate, bunts it on the left side.
Everybody's going to be safe.
Goes to third, everyone's safe. What a bunt by Gage Schertz. Bases will be loaded for Caleb Correa, but how about Schertz? He had the speed to go down the first baseline, and they didn't even bat an eye over there to first. They knew he was going to be safe.
No.
They tried to get out Rhodes over there at third, but he was safe, and just like that, bases will be juiced. And the bottom of the fifth, 6-0 the score. Wildcats on top. Correa in the left-handed batter's box. The first pitch to him. Bunts straight back to the pitcher. He drops it. Everybody's safe. It's a bunt single for Caleb Correa.
Wow, nice job. They the first bunt, Jacob, it was a good bunt over on the third base side, and with a lefty pitcher on the mound, the lefty pitcher went where he's supposed to be, but Mason wasn't there. Mason Smith wasn't at third, so everybody's safe. And then that one, Caleb Correa bunts it over to the first base side and had the lefty pitcher kind of turned around, and he slid down and tried to make a play, but just not in time. He bobbled the ball, and now that brings the big man with the bases loaded, Carson Wallace.
So back-to-back bunt singles for the Wildcats, and the first pitch to Wallace misses downstairs in the dirt. And Carson Wallace leads the team in home runs. He has 6 on the season. He also leads the team in RBIs with 41 and slugging percentage and all those other offensive categories as that curveball breaks, but out of the zone. 2 balls, no strikes, and 1 out. And Wes, if you're the pitcher right now, you're probably not going to pitch to Carson Wallace.
I'm not. I wouldn't have pitched to him for 2 weeks.
And he chops one on the right side. Second baseman not able to get it cleanly, but able to get the out. Wallace was half speed going down the first baseline, but that does bring in a run, and that will make it 8-0.
Yeah, did his job there, put the ball in play and score a run, and get the ball, hand a bat over to Mason Clark. Still got 2 men in scoring position, and Mason's not an easy out either. To finish up my thought with Bryce Lockhart, we got to shout him out. Not only was he one of those state champions, but he's also the valedictorian of Harleton's class this year.
As that pitch is popped up on the right side. Yeah, and I believe he plays football too, right?
He does. He was the center for Harleton this year, and he's going to be the 3rd center in 3 years that's going to graduate and go to Texas A&M. So shout out there to Kyle Wright and Luke Ratcliffe ahead of him that graduated, went to A&M.
As that pitch misses outside for the cleanup batter, Mason Clark. 8-0 is the score. 2 runs now scored in the bottom of the 5th for the Wildcats. That pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs now for Mason Clark.
And Caleb Correa is getting all the lead that he wants out there. And at this point, Jacob, I believe the catcher is in his head about getting the ball back to the pitcher.
Yeah.
He's walking out almost to the grass to throw it back.
The 1-2, line to the right side, base hit. 1 run will score. Correa coming home. A 2-run single for Mason Clark.
Blew it wide open right there. It'll be a ball game. That's 10-run rule.
A walk-off win for the Wildcats to put the run rule into effect, and a no-hitter for Carson Wallace and complete the shutout in the playoffs. How about that? Unbelievable.
And Jacob, I looked up here behind us just a second ago, and there's an ACU coach up here watching. And as I saw him, I noticed 4 other guys sitting here that had radar guns drawn and watching Carson Wallace. And you can speculate all you want on who that was, but they're here watching. That's rightfully so.
An unbelievable performance here in the second round of the playoffs. A multitude of strikeouts on the night there for Carson Wallace. He finishes with 11, no hits given up, no runs, a no-hitter, and with the run roll, complete game, and a shutout. And he went 2 for 3 with 2 RBI doubles. Wes, I don't know if Wallace can do any more. I mean, he just about did everything. What a job from him.
Yeah, he's impressive to watch, and you know, we got to see that last week, and he put everybody on notice last week, and he come in here tonight, and he followed that up with another spectacular performance. But we cannot overlook the fact that the Harleton Wildcats just run ruled in the second round, a team that come in number 1 out of their district. And so you dominate on the mound, and then you come up here and you swing those bats, and you make good things happen. And you got to feel good about your chances going into round 3. Wildcats are getting hot at the right time, Jacob.
Yeah, and you said Centerville, right? It's going to be either Centerville or Garrison. And,
yep. Centerville took game 1 today.
So we'll be a series. So best 2 out of 3. So we'll make sure to keep you guys updated on that. But right now, I think these one-and-done series are probably what's going to be working well for the Wildcats so far as they go deeper into the playoffs. I mean, you can throw your ace on the mound, and so far he has not given up a single hit in the playoffs. 2 games combined, 17 strikeouts in the first game, 11 strikeouts now in the second game in this second round of the playoffs.
28 Ks and 4 walks and 0 hits.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? What else can you say, man?
And listen to this. Do you want to hear what his ERA is on the season? I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Blow my mind.
Okay, so looking at his stats, according to Game Changer, as we scroll over to it, his ERA on the season is .126.
Jeez,
.126.
That's insane.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And, you know, the next guy after that is Bowen, and he's with a 1.167 ERA.
Yeah.
But Wallace is under the 1. I mean, he's I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just unbelievable. And now.
Yeah, 2 very impressive performances for sure. And, you know, right now, when you got to like your chances when he's on the mound, and when he's at the plate, you got to like your chances too.
Yeah, no doubt. And, you know, now we just kind of look forward and see what happens with the Centerville Garrison matchup. But you got to think you like Harleton's. You kind of like what they're going with here. They're playing really well with Wallace on the mound. They have great chances. You got to like them, and especially if they can just do 1-game rounds. I don't know if you can keep on getting lucky with that. But.
Yeah, I don't. You know, eventually that's going to run out on you, and you're going to have to get to your number 2 pitcher and have him either win the series for you or keep you in the series. But either way, you've got to feel good about that, the way that these bats came alive tonight and the way you put up 10 runs.
Yeah, I mean, in the first round, the Wildcats, they won that first round against the Eagles 4-2. Only put up 4 runs. Now putting up 10 and having that 5-run inning, I mean, that's definitely going to help things out. And, you know, anytime that you can get a win on a run roll, that brings some confidence to the bats in the next game, a round of momentum. So hopefully we'll see that kind of move into this next game. And, you know, we don't have to worry about Wallace. He's already going to be working with a lot of momentum when he gets back on the mound in this next round. So he'll be fine, and we'll just see if the bats can stay hot.
Yeah, and I'll say this, wrapping up, you know, this team that we saw here tonight reminded me an awful lot of another team that I've watched play 38 games and only lost 1. And they were hot all season, but this team right here is getting hot at the right time. And when they do and they find their little bit of their swagger, you got to watch them.
Well, folks, let's see if the Wildcats can keep this impressive playoff run going. It was a no-hitter for Carson Wallace. No hits, no runs, a shutout. An impressive start for him. No runs scored. And Wildcats take the winner go home, game 1 of this series, and they'll be moving on to to the third round of the playoffs.
Jacob, before we get off the air, I have to tell you congratulations. You'll be walking the stage here Saturday, I believe it is.
Yeah, Saturday.
And according to Ashley, she offered you a little bit of time off, and you told her you'd take one day off, and you come to work Monday morning.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you, man. Well done. We have enjoyed having you cover all of our East Texas sports, and specifically the Harleton Wildcats during their playoff runs. And your call in that state semifinal game is one that I hear all the time in my head, the man, the myth, the legend. And so what a call. Great job. I know KMHT is excited to have you, and I'm enjoying doing these games with you.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, like you said, being able to do these games, it's a lot of fun for me. I know you guys enjoy listening, but it's just a privilege and a blessing to be doing this, and love doing it alongside of you. And so, I'm just hoping that for the rest of the playoffs that you can get off of work on time and get down over here so we can keep on calling games. But let's see if we can keep it going. But next round of the playoffs, we'll see if the Wildcats can bring another win. It will either be Centerville or Garrison. Yep. But this round in the books, your final score 10-0. Wildcats get the dub against Alba Golden. A no-hitter by Carson Wallace. No runs scored, a complete shutout. Impressive showing, no doubt, by the Wildcats all the way around. For the rest of the broadcasting crew, alongside Wes Hopkins, I'm Jacob Bumpus, and this has been Harleton Wildcat Baseball on the heartbeat of East Texas, KMHT.
When your special event demands special food, you need Good Smoke Catering and Entertainment with melt-in-your-mouth smoked meats as well as any other mouth-watering needs. Good Smoke Catering and Entertainment will not disappoint. From weddings to corporate events, family reunions, and more, we will cater your most unforgettable food experience. Why settle for good food when you can have good food? Call us today at 903-806-0382.